He has given me the authority tonight to make any match I would like. I'm not nuts. I might be from Glasgow, but I'm not nuts. I want you and you in a handicap match.
Puffy just put himself
Both of yous.
in a 2-on-1 handicap.
Just to show there is no hard feelings, Travis Banks. Next week, it's going to be you and Austin Aries for the Defiant Championship.
Ridgeway, or maybe a double foot stomp. Primate got him. Oh, Primate! Primate, rear naked choke! And he rings the bell! Referee rang the bell!
Here is your winner, and still Defiant Wrestling Hardcore Champion, the Primate!
Hey, I'm not too sure that Chris Ridgeway did tap out. That was a quick call.
But the official decision, whether they like it or not, is that Primate retains the hardcore title via tap out, and maybe, just maybe, Defiant Wrestling has struck a blow back against IPW.
The killer in you is the power in me. Pleased to meet you, so good to see. The killer in you will keep me alive. Back to back, self-sacrifice.
A huge night here on Defiant Wrestling as our champion, the so-called greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries, defends the belt against the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks. All happening this week here on Defiant. Dave Bradshaw here at ringside with James R. Kennedy. And James, as well as a world title match, we have much more coming up as well.
We absolutely do. Big confrontation, huge confrontation. Speedball Mike Bailey and Drake. Personally, you know I can't wait for that. I have a personal interest in that with Drake. It's going to be a big night of action.
Well, with no further ado, let's take it to the ring and get things started. Now here's a man we haven't seen for quite some time. Last time we saw him, he was carrying Prince Amin out of here.
Following contest is a singles match set for one fall. This match has a 20-minute time limit. Coming to the ring at this time, from the Netherlands, winning tonight at 121 kilos, this is Jörn Simmons.
Jörn Simmons accompanied by Eva and Slater.
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
They have come.
Well, there
What?
he is. That's Prince Amin.
Why is Prince Amin? And look at what he's wearing, Bradshaw.
Amin has that same dead look in his eyes that Liam Slater has.
Oh, you have to ask the question, has Prince Amin, is this Gabriel Kidd's worst nightmare? Prince Amin may have been converted by Pastor William Eber.
What's happening there? Eva handing Amin's crown, that headwear, to Liam Slater.
Well, Pastor William Eber, he's sure attracting the numbers, isn't he?
This is a rapidly growing congregation, you can call it that, for Pastor William Eber. I can't believe Prince Amin is out here with these guys. Oh, what is happening?
What is going on with Prince Amin? And again, Bradshaw, he dressed up for the occasion. What is happening here?
Well, here comes Jörn Simmons' opponent, but I'm still baffled at the presence of Prince Amin.
Whoa!
His opponent from Wakefield, England, winning tonight at 260 pounds, Luke Menzies!
So Luke Menzies going to challenge Jörn Simmons, and I do not envy Menzies, who despite the fact he's a very finely tuned young athlete, he is going to have it all to do here against this monster of a man from the Netherlands.
Well, Jörn Simmons doesn't look as though he's sweating. Look, Menzies a very big man. But again, Bradshaw, the numbers out here. This is unbelievable. Pastor William Eber, He's sure doing some big things here in Defiant Wrestling. I still can't believe that Prince Amin is before our very eyes with these men.
Amin, the reputation with the Defiant fans for being happy-go-lucky, a great guy to be around, but there is absolutely no joy left in that face. What has happened to Amin since he was carried out of here a few weeks ago by Jørn Simmons?
Pastor William Ever putting the mean into Prince Amin, and you have to wonder what Gabriel Kidd will think when he claps eyes on this.
Well, trying to pay attention to the action here, but Amin and Eva and Slater are standing off just to our left. It's hard to take your eyes off this new Prince Amin we're seeing. Menzies, look at that power. I don't think Simmons was expecting that.
Oh, this is just two rugged big men going toe-to-toe. Jørn Simmons, another here in Defiant Wrestling who wants competition.
Jørn Simmons with a shoulder block. Menzies did not go down. He's put together as Menzies. Might not be the walk in the park that Pastor William Eva was hoping for this member of his flock, his congregation, Jørn Simmons.
I don't know about that. Maybe Eva wanted to test Jørn Simmons. He certainly tested all of us by recruiting Prince Amin.
Look at these shoulder blocks, one after another. Neither man going off his feet. Great agility from the big man. A drop kick finally takes Menzies down and he nips up. My God.
More agility, flexibility. This man is a winner.
Well, as we said at the top of the show, don't forget our main event tonight. Austin Aries defending the Defiant World title against Travis Banks. Let us know who you think is going to win that one. Let us know what you think about this bizarre new appearance of Prince Amin. Give us your opinions on everything going on tonight using the hashtag #WeAreDefiant. Simmons is finding this tough, you know. Look at Menzies, those overhead belly-to-bellies. Incredible.
Well, Jørn Simmons made quick work of Alex Dunn, but here against Luke Menzies, you're right, Bradshaw, it ain't so easy.
Menzies is temporarily at least in control here. He's going to maybe try for a vertical suplex on Simmons. Simmons goes behind, uses strength, his leverage, and clothesline right into the throat of Menzies.
Pastor William Ever just walked in front of the Heenan position here, the commentary desk, and both Prince Amin and brother Liam followed. This is unbelievable, Bradshaw. Pastor William Ever, he is a force here in Defiant Wrestling, whether people like it or not.
Slater and Amin, zombie-like in the way they are following Eva around the ring.
They're not alone. Even I'm slack-jawed at what's going on around here.
Well, you're easily led. You'll probably be the next one to join the congregation.
Oh, don't be silly. I couldn't go to church dressed like this. Come on.
No, I'm not sure any faith would have you. In any case, now you see Simmons trying to wear down Menzies, who came out of here explosively from the opening bell. Maybe some good strategy from the Dutchman to try and beat some of the air out of those lungs.
Well, the thing that Simmons can boast, he's not only good at those big rugged power moves, he's deceptively good on the mat too. The big Dutchman is someone to watch here in Defiant Wrestling.
I think Jørn Simmons is the kind of guy who could do so well on his own. I've got to wonder, why is he bothering with someone like Pastor William Eva? He could dominate on his own.
I'm not even sure it's a conscious decision at this point. Pastor William Ever, you see the way everyone follows him around. This man has a hold on everyone he comes into contact with.
Well, Simmons got taken off his feet again there by Menzies. He's having an impressive showing here. Simmons is having to regroup, rethink his strategy. He's sent to the ropes again. Menzies will pick him up. Fall away. Power slam. Goes for the cover. A 2 count. Menzies is getting closer.
The ringside, Ever looks a bit disappointed, for lack of a better term. Surprised, and wait a minute. Don't tell me that Prince Amin is going to poke his nose in this match.
Yeah, Amin's on the apron. Eva just told Amin to get on the apron.
Menzies spots Amin. Oh!
Amin caught by Eva and Slater and put back to earth gently onto his feet.
Oh, Pastor William Ever calls for Simmons to finish it.
It's a gut-wrench powerbomb from Simmons. That surely will do it, and it does. Jørn Simmons, your winner.
Here is your winner, Jørn Simmons.
Well, that is the second week in a row that William Eva, Pastor William Eva, has got involved in that way. And cost one of his congregation's opponents a match. Now what?
You called it a flock, Dave Bradshaw. Pastor William Eaver building something. Congregation, whatever. It is a force.
Very dangerous flock, and Menzies did well to get out of there. Saw what happened to Amin a few weeks ago. He was carried out of it. Now look at him. So anyway, Björn Simmons victorious as William Eaver once again playing the puppeteer for Prince Amin and Liam Slater, from strange to even stranger here on Defiant.
Aside from my soul, there goes a sight, there goes a sight. Now there goes a sight from my soul. There goes a sight from my soul.
So I should be focusing on my internet title match with Zack Sabre Jr., but instead I'm distracted by Drake. Now, we wrestled. You attacked my leg, which is a smart strategy. You cheated. And you know what? That's part of pro wrestling. I'm okay with people trying to cheat to beat me. That's fine. But you cheated and you got yourself disqualified. So I won, but as far as I'm concerned, it's not over. And tonight, I will end it.
Here comes a man who has an ironclad contract with Defiant Wrestling after his victory over Gabriel Kidd 2 weeks ago. Zack Gibson can essentially do what he likes.
Absolutely. Who's going to stop this man? He has the swagger, he has the skills in the ring, he has the attitude to go all the way. Zack Gibson wants to take over Defiant Wrestling. He wants to become Defiant's #1.
The following is a singles match set for one fall. It has a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, he is Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson.
Zack Gibson, ever confident, describes himself as Liverpool's #1, says he is soon to be the world's #1. And what better platform for him to prove that point than right here in Defiant Wrestling?
Well, you think about everything that's going on here in Defiant Wrestling. People coming to take over Zack Gibson. Oh, we're about to hear from the Scouse sensation himself. Leads it. They're not happy, Dave Bradshaw. Zack Gibson doesn't care.
Well, get the interpreter at the ready.
I know who I am Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson. Soon to be recognised as Defiant's #1. Soon to be recognised as the UK's #1, and soon to be recognised as the world's #1. And once again, I have been dragged from my home, dragged from Liverpool, in the snow, on the rail replacements, just to get here to Leeds, to be greeted by Defiant and their crew of smart fans.
Oh, not this again.
Bit of a trans-Pennine rivalry
We're
here.
chatting Yorkshire now, are we? Is that a thing that we do now, is it? For a room full of smart fans, the best chant that you can come up with is f***ing Yorkshire. A room full of smart fans who watch videos such as the top 10 swerves in pro wrestling, the top 10 bad guys in pro wrestling. Every single day you need your entertainment clipped, made digestible, because there is one thing, Leeds, that you are definitely not. It's smart. How about for the next hit video, we do the top 10, couple of hundred bell ends from Leeds.
I think I'll get started in writing that one straight away.
Can we cut this guy's mic?
Why would you want to do that? Zack Gibson had something to say. He's damn well sure going to say it. So you might as well get out of the way, just like all these people in Leeds, and let him.
In case you haven't guessed yet, I couldn't care less what you think about me. I couldn't care less what you tweet about me or what you want to chant at me whilst we're here. This is a message to all of the divs that run this company, a message to all of the marks that pretend to be wrestlers backstage. This is a message to everyone watching. I pretty much do whatever I want.
Now, what is this?
What I do, what I say is all my own. I don't know who they've lined up for me today. I don't care who they've lined up for me today, because this match ends one way. When I drop you on the deck, wrap your arm around your head, lock the Shankly gates, and whoever this mystery opponent of mine may be, you will tap out to Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson.
And look at what Gibson is wearing. Bradshaw hasn't escaped my attention.
Well, thank God he's finished talking. Gibson, by the way, is not part of IPW. He's just making a statement of intent here that he can do whatever he likes. He knows that's going to annoy Stu Bennett, and here's someone who might annoy Zack Gibson.
Introducing his opponents from a town called Malice, Flash Morgan Webster!
Great to see Flash Morgan Webster here in Defiant Wrestling. He was part of the Pro Wrestling World Cup over the summer in those Rest of the World qualifiers, eventually losing to Angelico. Oh, but Morgan Webster making his full debut here in Defiant tonight in Leeds.
Flash Morgan Webster understands style, Dave Bradshaw. You can't argue with that. He just personally complimented me on my new jacket.
Did he really?
You heard him.
You ever heard of sarcasm?
What's that?
I'll tell you when you're older. Anyway, Morgan Webster, very much more popular here in West Yorkshire than Zack Gibson.
Oh, these morons in Yorkshire, they're just jealous of Liverpool's #1. He can say and do whatever the hell he wants to, and he's about to prove it, I fear, even though Flash Morgan Webster complimented me on my jacket. Well, he may be taking a one-way trip to the nearest hospital, if you know what I mean, after this one's done.
Well, just a year ago or so, Flash Morgan Webster was on the long-term injured list, so great to bounce back in 2017. As we said, an impressive performance in those Rest of the World qualifiers, only narrowly missed out on the last 16, and a chance to further cement his reputation here if he can shut up Zack Gibson. Someone has to.
Well, Webster's story is one of a kind, Bradshaw. He rose up against all the odds to live his dream as a pro wrestler, and how fitting, because he'll have to rise up again against all the odds if he wants to beat Zack Gibson.
Slap from Gibson, the disrespect. A rear waistlock from Gibson. Going to try and take Webster down by the arm.
Hey, and this is just another example. This is Zack Gibson showing what he said is true, that he can do whatever he wants here in Defiant Wrestling.
Well, don't forget, coming up before we go off air tonight, the Defiant World title on the line. Unbelievably, I still can't quite get over it. Our champion is Austin Aries. He is defending against the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks.
Well, hell of a match that's going to be. But here, inside the ring, Flash Morgan Webster looking to evade and escape the clutches of Zack Gibson. He does.
What a coup this would be for either Morgan Webster or Zack Gibson to start their 2018 off in style.
Oh, Gibson just disrespecting Flash Morgan Webster. Maybe Gibson feels because he has the size and hey, size only matters when you're upright.
Well, I hope that was right in the mouth. Gibson doesn't have an ounce of respect for anyone in his body. With Morgan Webster to the outside, Gibson moved out of the way and takes advantage.
Oh,
Webster on his shoulders. Gibson, in the end, is the one who goes into the ring post.
Webster showing how resourceful he is.
Webster swinging round into a Hurricane Rana, sends Gibson into the crowd barrier.
Back first when Liverpool's #1. I bet you Zack Gibson doesn't feel like #1 right now.
He comes out here with that arrogant swagger, thinks it's hilarious to wear an IPW t-shirt under the current climate. Well, Morgan Webster has given him a reality check here. At least he was.
In fairness, Bradshaw, Zack Gibson is a world-traveled, world-class athlete. He has earned the right to brag. Okay, sometimes he's
Hand right into the steel for Gibson, and then the rest of his body follows.
And again, hard into that security barricade.
Morgan Webster, smash mouth in his style.
Oh.
He'll run around. He's going to do a full lap of the Defiant ring and crashes into Gibson.
That was like Usain Bolt. The mod Usain Bolt. How about that?
Well, Usain Bolt, of course, retired last year. Morgan Webster is just in the early part of his career, and he is going to take to the sky here. Webster. Gibson charged at him. He rolled through, landed on his feet. Now he's deposited on the turnbuckle. Look at this from Gibson.
Oh, forget about it. Forget about it. Put this man in a body bag. It's all over.
Goes for the cover, hooks the leg, and Morgan Webster kicks out on 2. What a quick fire combo into that lung blower from Gibson.
But incredible resilience from Flash Morgan Webster. I didn't think he would kick out of that one. I didn't think anyone could kick out of that. Zack Gibson, precision speed for such a big man.
And those kicks, those strikes so hard from Gibson.
Oh, don't clap your hands. That's disgusting. If Zack Gibson sees you do that, Bradshaw, you'll be beaten up again.
I was applauding Webster.
Of course.
Cover by Gibson. Again, the leg hooked. Again, a kick out. Gibson is starting to wear down this young man from Wales.
One thing Gibson can't afford to do is let the people in Leeds get inside his head. That's Gibson's game. Getting inside his opponent's head, getting into the minds of all these morons out here. He can't let them get into his head.
Well, he claims not to care what they think, but for someone who doesn't care what they think, he gets awfully distracted by them sometimes, says Gibson.
Nobody cares about Yorkshire.
You say that about wherever we go.
Oh, well.
Like anywhere that's not your own house.
Apart from Orlando, that's a wonderful, beautiful place, partly because I live there. But anyway, on with the match. Gibson in complete control.
And not only in complete control, but you saw how he twisted that left leg of Morgan Webster. Gibson, another one of those disrespectful slaps across the face.
Well, look Gibson, he's hearing what these people in Leeds have to say. He's not happy that they're chanting for Flash Morgan Webster.
Yeah, but again, he can be as rude as he likes to these Defiant fans. Gibson has that ironclad contract.
Absolutely.
Whatever he says, he's not going to get fired.
He also got a taste of some of his own medicine.
Morgan Webster back into the corner. Look at the agility from the Welshman. Ducks a clothesline from Gibson. He's too fast for Zack Gibson. It's Morgan Webster.
Hey, I'm impressed by this young Welshman. So impressive in the Pro Wrestling World Cup and here in Defiant Wrestling.
Yeah, but can he finish it? It's a running forearm right into the face of the Liverpudlian. He's going to send him to the opposite corner. No, he's not. Gibson reverses. Leapfrog from Webster. A Hurricane Rana. quick as a hiccup from Flash Morgan Webster.
Takes a lot of leg strength to take over a man the size of Gibson.
Webster leaping through the air. Absolutely fearless.
I'm impressed with Webster. Hey, you have to give him one thing. He's certainly taking the fight to Liverpool's #1. But what does this mean? What happens if both these men get counted out?
Well, I mean, that's all you can do against Gibson. He's such an aggressive competitor. You have to do the same. Offense, the best form of defense against this guy. With a second rope moonsault from Webster. He'll hook the leg and another 2.
Zack Gibson in real trouble here. Liverpool's #1, that ironclad contract. He has ironclad confidence. Might not want to admit it, but he's getting a hell of a test from Morgan Webster.
Webster looking for the fireman's carry. Gibson refusing to be taken off of his feet. Gibson, or rather Webster will try again. Drops him face first.
Oh, wow.
The cover. Webster with his body weight on the shoulders, and Gibson found a way out.
Well, Zack Gibson is already dispatched of one young lion, Gabriel Kidd, here in Defiant Wrestling, but Flash Morgan Webster proving a bit more troublesome.
Webster is looking to take to the skies. Gibson took advantage of Webster being a little bit slow to get up there. At least he tried to. Gibson pushed away. Webster up on the top floor. Webster! A senton bomb right into the small of the back of Gibson.
And look at this, Webster's not finished.
Webster trying to apply a chokehold here of some kind. Gibson may have to tap. Webster using his whole body weight for extra leverage. Look how he's got his legs wrapped around that lower back that he just hit with the senton.
Oh, but look at the strength of Gibson.
Oh, counter from Webster. Webster again into the guillotine. The guillotine. Gibson may tap here. Gibson.
Oh, so close, Gibson.
Referee Chris Sharp is checking out whether Gibson tapped. He didn't, and look at the strength again.
Again, that power, the power advantage of Zack Gibson, the size and strength coming into play.
Yeah, the rest of his body is finely tuned as his voice box, unfortunately for Webster.
He's a hell of a singer.
Not what I meant. Boot up into the face from Webster.
Oh!
The referee pushed in the way. Gibson chopped Webster in the throat. And now what's this? From Gibson. Twisting brainbuster. You know what's coming now.
Oh, here we go.
Gibson locks in the Shankly gates.
Hey, when Gibson locks this in, it's all over with.
That was it. Academic.
It's a formality.
Here is your winner as a result of a submission, Liverpool's #1, Zack Gibson.
So Zack Gibson, despite a fighting effort from Flash Morgan Webster, makes his official Defiant record 2-0 here after a second win. Gibson, of course, with that ironclad contract, continuing to do whatever he wants to whoever he wants.
Well, Gibson racking up the wins here in Defiant Wrestling. Hey, you cannot argue with success. This man does exactly what he says he will do. You might not like him, but you must respect Zack Gibson.
God, do we have to hear from him again?
Again, beautiful singing.
Why'd you give him a mic, Stevie? Why'd you give him a mic?
Is this it? Is this it? Nah, I don't think I will. Nah, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. Is this it? Easy. Easy. Is this the best that Stu Bennett and Defiant?
Oh, come on.
Is this the best you got, Stu? Take some notes wherever you are, because this is only the beginning.
Wait! Oh my! He's back! He's back! Rampage is back!
Hey, you want competition? You're going to get it, Zack Gibson, in the biggest way possible. Rampage! Gibson doing a very good impression of me, Dave Bradshaw. He's getting the hell out of Dodge.
Rampage invading the ring here. We haven't seen Rampage for months. And Gibson is using a ring announcer as a human shield. Not so tough are you now, Gibson? He's scarpering.
The killer in you is the power in me. Pleased to meet you, so good to see. The killer in you will keep me alive. Back to back, self-sacrifice.
Defiant Wrestling, this is Alex Gracie. This is the man that you saw rip apart Fat Ligero. This is a changed man. This is a more focused, this is a more brutal, more sadistic Alex Gracie. This is the real Alex Gracie. This is a 16-time British champion in Filipino stick fighting. This is the man that got banned from full contact stick fighting. Weapon fighting. I'm not talking about fighting with these. I'm not talking about fighting with these or knees or ripping. I'm talking with weapons. So imagine what I am going to do with my bare hands. You know where I want to start? I want to start with people that Defiant Wrestling and the Defiant Wrestling fans consider British legends. Because I'm a legend in my own right. And the way that this company has treated me since day one is absolutely disgraceful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disrespect everybody that got respect just because they're supposedly the best in the country. Well, I'm the best in the country, and I'm opening a challenge to anybody that's considered a legend to come and prove me wrong.
Drake on his way to the ring, and Drake has made it his mission as of late to make life hell to Speedball Mike Bailey.
Hey, and he's making it heaven for the rest of us. Drake with evil intentions in mind. We're about to see another example of it.
The following is a singles bout set for one fall. This match also has a 20-minute time limit. Coming to the ring at this time, from Newcastle upon Tyne, England, weighing tonight at 214 pounds, this is Drake!
So your pal Drake apparently has decided that he has an issue with Speedball Mike Bailey, and he is refusing to let it go. In fact, I would say Drake has jeopardised Bailey's chances of winning the internet title.
No doubt, it's only a few weeks before Speedball Mike Bailey faces Zack Sabre Jr. for that Defiant internet title. Drake's not happy about that. He feels he should have been in the title picture. Well, we're about to see exactly why before our very eyes. Oh, look at this, Bradshaw. Look and love it.
Drake wearing a vest that says kill all gimmicks, and he wants to start by killing off the Speedball.
Wrestling out of Quebec, Canada, I'm winning tonight at 70 kilos. This is Speedball Mike Bailey!
Well, as we said, Speedball Mike Bailey with an internet title match just 2 weeks away to focus on against Zack Sabre Jr. Now, when Bailey recently met with Drake, Bailey already had injured knees from that match at We Are Defiant against David Starr. Drake lost that match via disqualification after re-injuring or re-attacking those knees with a wrench. Bailey requested this rematch, ever the fighter, determined to get his own back here against Drake.
Well, one thing when I worked a lot at ringside with Drake managing the man, one thing we always spoke about was even in defeat, always take something away from your opponent. Has Drake taken away Mike Bailey's speed? That's the question. Now, this internet title shot against Zack Sabre Jr., hey, it might not happen for Speedball if Drake has his way. Mike Bailey wants another shot at Drake because of what happened.
Look at how quickly Bailey went after Drake. In fact, he's given him absolutely no respite whatsoever. Bailey chasing Drake around the ring.
He must have been a sprinter in high school.
Still that Drake straight to the knee. Drake goes to the ropes. Bailey catches him with the foot. Bailey up to his feet. Look how fast those kicks are. Now, we've talked at great length over the past months about how great Mike Bailey's 2017 was. Well, now we're into 2018. He's going to look to build on that, but first he has to get rid of these shackles around him that have been Drake over the past few weeks. You know Drake better than most. Explain to me why Drake has chosen to focus on Bailey of all people.
Well, you always go after the best. You gun for the top athletes in pro wrestling. That's exactly what Drake wants to do. And hey, look at this. Speedball's leg seems a bit better to me. It's up to Drake to focus in on that. There'll still be an injury there. Trust me.
Yeah, well, Bailey, when he came out here a couple of weeks ago to face Drake, was noticeably limping. He's noticeably not limping on his way out here today, which has got to be good news if you're a Speedball fan, again, as he heads into that internet title match. Look at the incredible gymnastic ability from Bailey. It's good for a 2 count.
Now, this won't work for Drake. Letting Bailey show what a showman he is, if you like. Drake has to get down and dirty, target that leg. That's the way, that's the key to victory for Drake.
Bailey, ever persistent.
Forget it, just run away.
Drake ducked it twice. Bailey still kept going and hit him on the 3rd time of asking. Bailey uses Drake's own back as a springboard. And maybe we'll see that double knee drop, but is that a good idea? With the injured knees, but in any case, he didn't get a chance because Drake cuts him off.
That's what Drake's all about, and look at Drake using the ring to his advantage. Tying up Speedball's legs. It didn't work there, though.
Bailey! Missile dropkick off the 2nd turnbuckle.
Oh, there we go. There's the leg. That's the first sign of weakness in Speedball's offense there.
Yeah, a little wince after he nipped up there. And oh my! Right over the top. Bailey with a smile on his face. Even though there is a little bit of pain still there, you can tell just in his body language, the confidence is returning to Bailey here.
Again, though, Zack Sabre Jr. will be watching this and hoping that Speedball makes a mistake, slips something, hurts that leg. Oh! It nearly took Drake's head off.
And Drake maybe concussed after that knee into the back of the cranium. Drake rolling into the ring to try and escape from Bailey.
Speedball in hot pursuit of Drake. And there we go, there's the cleverness. Oh, there we go, yes!
Use the referee as a distraction and then kick Bailey right in the back of the leg. Dragon screw takedown.
These people may not like it, Bradshaw, but that is sound strategy from Drake.
That could take the knee joint right out of its socket.
And hey, I don't want to repeat myself like some kind of broken record like I've learned from you, Bradshaw. However, Zack Sabre Jr. will be watching.
You said that literally 30 seconds ago.
Zack Sabre Jr. will be watching.
Is this your only point you have to make in this match?
I wonder if Zack Sabre Jr. is watching. What do you think?
Well, here's a point for you. There may not be much of Bailey left for Zack Sabre Jr. to watch if Drake continues this relentless assault on the left knee of the young Canadian. Got to wonder here whether Bailey's pride might be getting in the way of good common sense here, just 2 weeks out. His desire to get vengeance against Drake may be getting in the way of any chance he would have against the technical wizard, Zack Sabre Jr., one of the, if not the finest technical wrestler on this planet.
Well, pride comes before a fall. Everyone knows that phrase. And yeah, you're right, no doubt about it. Drake is doing the right thing. These people don't like it. However, it's the right thing. And this is putting that internet title shot for Speedball Mike Bailey in clear jeopardy.
Was Drake doing the right thing when he attacked Bailey with a wrench 2 weeks ago?
Hey, I said it earlier on, even in defeat, you always take something from your opponent.
Bailey looking to take Drake's pride here if he can beat him despite this injury, but it's not looking good as Drake continues in a shark-like fashion to hone in on that knee.
Smells blood, does Drake.
Right on the back of Bailey's head. Drake will try for a cover here. He could get it because Bailey landed very hard, but Bailey gets out and he's straight into the half crab. Straight into the half crab goes Drake. Drake looking to force the submission. And again, competitive spirit's all well and good, but maybe Bailey should tap. Maybe Bailey should preserve that leg for 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. No, oh, come on. No way. What's it going to take to stop this man?
Incredible tenacity from Bailey. This would be an incredible main event to any episode of Defiant, but we are not done because coming up in just a few moments' time, it was announced last week, Austin Aries, the Defiant champion, going to defend the title against the Kiwi Buzzsaw, Travis Banks. Now, why Drake has a chair? Why does Drake have a chair?
He's a very dangerous man without it, even more so with.
He's got a wrench.
Oh, look at this.
Got a wrench. It's that part of the turnbuckle. That part of the turnbuckle, that's what he used against Bailey 2 weeks ago. Bailey.
Target that leg. Target that leg, Drake. Oh.
Yeah, Bailey fights his way free. Don't do it, Bailey. Don't do it. You hurt your own knees. Bailey. How much damage has he done to himself? He's certainly done a lot to Drake.
Bailey keeps doing it, though. We speak about pride. It's silly. What has he got to prove? He already has the internet title shot.
Drake trying to show some defiance, but that is all she wrote. Drake, it's fast asleep, and Bailey's your winner.
Here is your winner, Speedball Mike Bailey!
Your man lost again.
Oh, come on. You love this, don't you? You love rubbing this in. What a hell of a match, though.
It certainly was, and Mike Bailey got what he came for, which is revenge against Drake, but at what cost? Bailey now has just 14 days to recover. 2 weeks from now on Defiant, it's Speedball versus the Technical Wizard, Bailey versus Sabre Jr. for the Internet title.
Hey, where is he, huh? Hey, you tell me where Prince of Me. Hey, where is he? Where's Prince of Me? You tell me, huh?
Brother Gabriel, half down.
Where's Prince of Me? Oh! Where have you been? What have you been doing? You're not hanging out with these guys. Come on, let's go. This isn't you, come on.
Brother Gabriel, relinquish your sins. Join the congregation.
Join the congregation, join these. What are you talking about? What's happened to you, huh?
He's seen the lights.
He hasn't seen anything.
I've never
Seen Mark Rio. Seen the light. This isn't you, man. No, this isn't you. What are you doing, huh? Hey! Mo! 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 What are you doing?
It is time to reclaim the Defiant Championship from the man who has stolen it. Maybe the man to deliver justice to Austin Aries is the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
The following contest set for one fall. With a 30-minute time limit, it is for the Defiant Wrestling Championship. Introducing first the challenger. From Auckland, New Zealand, weighing tonight at 92 kilos, he is the Kiwi Buzzsaw!
few minutes ago about Mike Bailey and what a 2017 he had. Well, how about Travis Banks? He risked it all just a couple of years ago to emigrate from New Zealand over to Europe, where there's a much more thriving wrestling scene. And in 2017, Banks confirmed his status as one of the greatest independent wrestlers in the world.
And speaking of greatest, here comes the self-proclaimed greatest man who ever lived and the Defiant Wrestling Champion.
Well, this is the greatest man that ever lived, and that's a pretty sad commentary on the state of our species.
His opponent, wrestling out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, USA, and winning tonight at 202 pounds, he is the current reigning and defending Defiant Wrestling Champion, the true Austin Aries!
Austin Aries, no stranger to championship gold. He's held it in Ring of Honor, he's held it in TNA. He has held championships all around the world. And now he is the Defiant Champion too. And he is sided with IPW.
What an opportunity for Travis Banks though. Last week, the Iron King, oh here he comes.
Well, the champion staring down both of us here as he walks past. This attempt to intimidate everyone, not just the wrestlers, but every official, every person associated with Defiant Wrestling on the part of this IPW gang headed up by Austin Aries. It's disgusting. It's one of the most disgusting things I've ever experienced in a decade of working in the pro wrestling business.
Well, as I was saying before you so rudely interrupted and tried to square up to the champ. Last week, Joe Coffey was given express permission to do whatever he wanted by General Manager Stu Bennett. He decided to show there's no animosity between he and ex-Prestige member, Travis Banks, fellow ex-Prestige member. He gave Banks this opportunity, a chance to become Defiant Champion against Austin Aries. Here we go, main event time.
Here we go then, a truly international Defiant Championship match. Austin Aries from the USA against Travis Banks of New Zealand. And you heard the chant from the fans here in Leeds, Trav is our champion.
I've got to give you something, Bradshaw. Even though Travis Banks was once a member of the Prestige, you always had this begrudging respect for Travis Banks, his skills. He has had an incredible 2017. Unbelievable. 2018 could get a whole lot bigger if he becomes the Defiant Champion.
What a way to start the year that would be in just the second week of the year if Banks wins the Defiant Championship here. And that's the aim, by the way. That is very much the aim. Joe Coffey didn't just make this match just to prove that there's no hard feelings between himself and Banks. He did it because Joe Coffey, as much as anyone, wants to get that Defiant Championship back in the Defiant locker room, and he thinks Travis Banks is our best bet of doing just that.
It's a smart move. It is a smart move. One of the best from Defiant Wrestling against one of the best from around the world. Austin Aries, although, Bradshaw, it's important to state, and this can't be stated enough, the advantage as champion is with Aries in this match.
Well, let us know who you think is going to win this huge championship match, our main event on this week's Defiant Wrestling. Will it be Austin Aries or will it be Travis Banks? Use the hashtag and join the conversation on social media. The hashtag, as always, we are Defiant.
Incredible athleticism from Austin Aries. One of the best in the globe. Oh, look at this, just riding Travis Banks.
Banks kicks out at one, and Banks, I think, made a point of doing that after Aries was trying to humiliate Banks, as you say, riding him in that kind of amateur wrestling exchange.
Nothing amateur about anything Austin Aries does.
Banks will take Aries down, and this will be a very interesting gauge of how far Travis Banks has come. We're talking about Travis Banks in terms of being in the elite, in the independent wrestling world at this point in his career. Well, what better yardstick is there than Austin Aries?
Well, exactly. The roof would come off the building if the Kiwi Buzzsaw Travis Banks, a man from New Zealand, but a man everyone in the UK wrestling scene considers one of their own. The roof would come off the building if he could do it tonight and take home the title.
Banks with a cartwheel, lands on his feet. Aries Ducks down, Banks grabs him. Banks will send the champion and trips him up. Coming into the ropes, he's going to roll him up. Got everything tied up tightly, and Aries had to use all that experience to find a way out of that within that 3-second limit.
Almost a standoff here. I know Travis Banks is on one knee, now he gets back to his feet. I think Aries slowly but surely is starting to understand why there is such a buzz surrounding Travis Banks.
Yeah, that cocky smile on the face of the champion, it's back now, but it disappeared for a moment. He let the mask slip just for a second there. I think Austin Aries is much more worried about this title defense than he is letting on. By the way, we're hearing that Austin Aries demanded that the referee for this match be changed. You see, it's referee Chris Sharp, who was originally assigned to be Steve Linsky, but after Linsky's involvement in the controversial end to that hardcore title match last week on Defiant, Aries point-blank refused to compete in this match if Linsky was refereeing.
That's the power that being Defiant champion, that's what it brings. Austin Aries can make all the demands he wants. Most of them, if not all, will be met, and that is the power that Travis Banks must take away from Austin Aries. Representing IPW, don't forget.
Guarantee he wouldn't be calling the shot. Oh, look at that from Banks. Banks is getting enraged. I guarantee Aries would not be calling the shots if Stu Bennett was here in person. Bennett leaving the power to make matches with some of our locker room leaders from the Defiant roster. But in the absence of a general manager, Aries has been throwing his weight around. Banks doesn't care though.
I don't want to play devil's advocate. I know our general manager is a very, very busy man, but you can't go missing at a time like this. You can't hand over power willy-nilly to anybody who asks for it. This is a crucial time.
Banks is going to be sent into the ropes. He puts the brakes on Aries, charges at him. Aries comes crashing to the outside. Banks is going to follow him, but Aries caught him. That is the experience of Austin Aries, kicking in right there.
Aries isn't finished.
Speaking of kicking in, Aries is kicking Banks right between the shoulder blades.
We're so used to seeing Travis Banks administer that kind of punishment with the strikes, the big kicks. Austin Aries giving Banks a bit of his own medicine.
Aries follows him in. The forearm, snapmare takedown. Aries will go to the second turnbuckle. And Aries, elbow, again, in that same part of the upper back, goes for a cover with a 2 count. Aries a second away from retaining the Defiant Championship.
Hey, even if Austin Aries was rattled, he damn sure wouldn't show you. The champ, one of the most confident men in pro wrestling. A man, by the way, that Travis Banks aspires to be. Think about that.
Look at this. Now Banks is in all kinds of trouble here. Aries with him wrapped up, pulling at that extended right leg, trying to force the submission. See, Banks is trying to adjust his position, see if there's any angle from which he's in reach of the ropes. Oh, instead, he ends up with his shoulders down, and Banks finally gets out with half a second left.
Well, Aries now not happy with referee Chris Sharp. Wasn't happy with other referees. He's not happy with the one he demanded.
He's never happy unless everything goes exactly his way, is he?
Don't tell him I said that, by the way. I don't want some of what you got.
For a man who claims to be the greatest man that ever lived, he certainly does whine a lot, doesn't he?
Well, far be it from me to question someone who has won so many championships around the world.
You'd just run away from him, wouldn't you?
Hey, I'd buy a ticket to see him. This man is box office.
There's no doubt about that, but he is looking like he may be sending Travis Banks to sleep here.
This crowd firmly in the corner of the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
Can you blame them? Can you blame them after what all these IPW people have done in the last few weeks?
No, I have to agree with you on that. Travis Banks, it's very important that you bring home the title.
Yeah, Banks is fading. Banks is fading here. Austin Aries could be seconds away from retaining the title. Banks has found a second wind. Banks did well to get out there, and he has countered. Banks with the side headlock. Banks got the slice to heaven, he gets it! Cover
Aries
him.
is out. Aries is out. Oh, maybe not. There's movement there from the champ. But this is so important for Travis Banks. Has to take advantage. That was a big move. A power shift, so to speak.
It's bad luck for Travis Banks. The way their two bodies landed, Banks ricocheted away from Aries. If he bounced in the direction of the champion, he could have made the cover quicker, and we could have a new champion right now.
Even if Banks had fallen on top of Aries accidentally, could have won the Defiant World Championship.
These two tearing lumps out of each other now. Aries and Banks for the Defiant Championship, and that one echoed around the O2 Academy in Leeds.
Oh, massive for Travis Banks. Aries took off the elbow pads. The champ was fixed to finish it. Banks said no. The Kiwi Buzzsaw very much still in this match.
The leaping lariat from Banks. Maybe going to go for that Kiwi crusher to end it, but Aries found a way out. Banks will try again. Aries knows that is lethal, fatal perhaps, to his position as Defiant Champion if Banks can hit that Kiwi crusher.
Aries was going for the brain buster.
Both these guys trying to finish it.
Going again.
And again, Banks knows he has to get out. Made sure he did his homework. He's had a week to prepare for this. Been practicing, I'm sure, his way out of the brainbuster. Now instead, a shining wizard from Travis Banks.
Oh.
2 count on Aries.
Oh, look at this. The champion cradling that bottom rope. Austin Aries realizes how close he was to losing the championship.
I think the champ is rattled.
I think you're right.
Aries clinging onto the rope. Obviously, you can't be pinned or submitted if your body's in contact with the rope, so he's trying to buy himself some time.
Aries again to that bottom rope. Travis Banks, well, the referee only doing his job. Oh, suckered in.
Aries once again with those wily veteran instincts.
Oh.
Banks goes to the outside. Aries will charge on the opposite rope. And Aries into Banks on the outside.
That right there is the risks that top professional wrestlers take. And when you're a man like Austin Aries, they are calculated and usually pay off. That one did for the champ.
Agility of a cat, by the way, from Aries to land on his feet as well. Did you see that?
Oh, wait a minute. This is dangerous. Oh,
neckbreaker right across the middle rope. Could have snapped Travis Banks' spine in half.
Austin Aries taking his time. Feels he has Banks, the challenger, right where the champ wants him.
Aries, though, needs to stop playing to the crowd here. He's taking a run up. Banks doesn't know where the champion is, and that is bad news for the challenger. Finally, Banks, the last second, gets his boot up and into the face of Aries.
Now the momentum with the Kiwi Buzzsaw.
Banks running uppercut. Aries will follow him in. He gets tripped. Aries eats turnbuckle. Banks is fired up. Is the Kiwi Buzzsaw moments away from winning the Defiant Championship? Aries.
That's the experience. Oh,
Banks! Oh my God! Travis Banks takes out the champion. That's how badly Banks wants to be the champ. Here he comes again. Travis Banks for a second time takes out the champion.
Banks must get Austin Aries back inside that ring, pin him for the 1, 2, 3, and make history. These people want to see it, Bradshaw.
It is almost unanimous here in Leeds. We all want to see Travis Banks reach the top of the mountain.
Wait a minute.
Wait! Why are the Prestige are here? Banks, of course, no longer part of the Prestige ever since Ligero and Hendry attacked him.
Oh, Travis Banks says...
Banks takes him out!
He's not going to wait around. He's going to take the fight to the Prestige.
Banks refocusing his attention on Aries. Aries rolls up Banks. I think Aries had the trunks. Banks still kicked out. He's going to try for the brain buster. Second time, he'll go for it. Oh, he got it. He got it. Aries got it. No. Aries, the cover on Banks. Aries retains. Aries retains the title.
The winner of the match, and still Defiant Wrestling Champion, the Truth, Austin Aries!
Dave Bradshaw, I I have to defend Joe Hendry, I'm sorry.
Of course you
but
will.
When Travis Banks left the Prestige, Joe Hendry promised to put the Kiwi Buzzsaw in his place. What better way to do that than by costing Banks destiny and the Defiant Championship?
How much ego can you get on the part of Joe Hendry? His personal disdain for Travis Banks means he would rather get his own back on Banks than get the Defiant Championship back from the clutches of Austin Aries and IPW. Austin Aries, still your Defiant Wrestling Champion.
I'm not nuts. I might be from Glasgow, but I'm not nuts. I want you and you in a handicap match. Both of yous.
Well, I'm the best in the country, and I'm opening a challenge to anybody that's considered a legend to come and prove me wrong.
You